Isaac's descent. Isaac's final days in Ebon Hollow were a blur of fear and obsession. By the time he uncovered the hole beneath the fireplace, he was scarcely the man who had arrived with a confident stride and a cartographer's keen eye. His reflection in the cracked, soot-streaked windows showed a gaunt, hollow-eyed shadow of himself. The whispers inside the manor had changed. They no longer danced on the edge of hearing, they were sharp, clear, and personal. They spoke of things Isaac had never told another soul, the name of his childhood dog, the ache he felt when his mother died, the betrayal of the lover who'd left him. They spoke of his failings, his regrets, his fears. "You can fix it," they cooed, their voices warm and enticing. Just one step deeper. When Isaac unearthed the gaping hole, he became consumed by the urge to explore it. At first, he resisted, retreating to his tent in the vain hope of escaping the whispers. But they followed him, invading his mind, promising answers to questions he didn't know he had. The hunger to know, about the manor, the whispers, the thing below, overpowered his dwindling sense of reason. On the fifth night, Isaac climbed into the hole. The air was thick and suffocating, carrying the scent of decay and something older, primal. The walls of the tunnel were slick with moisture, and the ground beneath him felt unnervingly alive, pulsating faintly with a rhythm that matched no human heartbeat. He crawled deeper, the whispers growing louder and more jubilant. When the tunnel opened into a vast chamber, Isaac's lantern flickered and died. But even in the choking darkness, he could see. The walls glistened, etched with symbols that pulsed faintly with crimson light. At the center of the chamber sat the source of the whispers, a mass of writhing, shifting black tendrils, each tipped with eyes that stared into him. It was alive. And it was waiting. The villager's history. Ebon Hollow was not always a place of fear. Once, it had been a thriving settlement, a hub for traders passing through the forest. The manor had belonged to the Marlowe family, wealthy benefactors who had brought prosperity to the village. But prosperity came with a price. The eldest Marlowe's son, Benedict, was a scholar fascinated by the occult. He sought forbidden knowledge, delving into rituals and practices that promised power and eternal life. His obsession led him to uncover ancient texts buried deep in the forest, texts that spoke of a slumbering entity, a god of whispers, sealed away beneath the earth. Benedict's ambition turned to madness. He performed the rites to awaken the entity, believing it would grant him dominion over life and death. The ritual required sacrifice, blood and fire. On a moonless night, he locked the villagers in the manor under the guise of a grand feast and set it ablaze. Their screams were both the key and the offering. But Benedict underestimated the entity's hunger. It consumed him first, twisting his soul into something unrecognizable. The fire spread out of control, devouring the manor and its secrets. Those few villagers who survived were left cursed, bound to the land and its darkness. They could not leave, nor could they die in peace. For centuries, they have lived in the shadow of the manor, warning travelers but never intervening. They know that the entity cannot be destroyed, only contained. And every so often, someone like Isaac stumbles into their village, feeding the cycle anew. The entity beneath the manor. The entity was older than the forest, older than the earth itself. It had no name, for names could not capture its essence. It was not a god, nor a demon, but something beyond comprehension, a being that thrived on fear, regret, and pain. Sealed beneath the manor by ancient wards, it whispered to the living, planting seeds of doubt and despair. It fed on their vulnerabilities, luring them closer, promising solace or power. Those who succumbed were consumed, their souls twisted into eternal servitude. The tendrils Isaac saw were merely an extension of its will. Its true form lay deeper still, beyond the veil of mortal perception. To look upon it fully would shatter the mind, reducing the observer to a husk. The entity's whispers were not random. It chose its victims carefully, sensing those with unspoken wounds. Isaac's guilt over leaving his family, his self-doubt about his work, and his loneliness made him the perfect prey. The entity didn't just want his body, it wanted his soul, to use him as a vessel to spread its whispers beyond the forest. The final moments. Isaac stood in the chamber, transfixed by the pulsating mass. The whispers became a cacophony, drowning out all thought. The tendrils reached for him, slow and deliberate, as though savoring the moment. "See," they hissed. "See what you can become." Isaac's lantern flickered back to life, its feeble glow revealing the true scale of the entity's form. He screamed, the sound swallowed by the chamber's oppressive weight. The whispers did not stop. They coiled around his mind, pulling him deeper, promising an end to his pain. In his final moments, Isaac understood the truth. There was no escape. There never had been. His descent into the hole was not a choice, it was inevitability, woven into the fabric of the entity's design. The aftermath. When the villagers found Isaac's belongings the next morning, they sighed in quiet resignation. They knew he was lost, another soul claimed by the manor. They also knew it would be years, perhaps decades, before the entity hungered again. But sometimes, late at night, they hear his voice among the whispers, a reminder that the entity's hunger is eternal, and its reach is growing.